flashing there, so that everything's been included.
Good evening. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Can I remind you the camera's on and we're being recorded, so yeah, let's behave as usual. Thank you. Welcome tonight to the Parish Council meeting on the 20th of April 2022. We have our new clerk in situ tonight. And we will be saying au revoir to our old clerk. The old clerk. Item number 1 to receive any apologies for absence.
Apologies for absence from Alistair Smith, Andy Reasons, Sean Thurgood and Dave Huxtable.
Lovely, thank you very much. Item number 2 is reports from county and district councillors. Obviously Dave's not here and he's in his herder time, isn't he? Because he's out doing his bit, so he wouldn't be here anyway. And from me, all I've got to report is I chaired quite a meaty licensing panel down in Bridgewater at Canal Side for Haven Holiday Park in Burnham-on-Sea, because there had been many objections. But so we had there were about 50 people there and 10 speakers objecting. It took quite a long time. We listened to it. There's this big procedure we go through where we listen to everybody has their say, and then us as a panel retreat to another room and discuss it and work out what we're going to do. But it was too much paperwork, so we sent everyone home, and within 5 working days gave them an answer, which was to approve certain things, but with conditions in place, which I think helped the residents. And then I was meant to have a licensing committee meeting next week, but there's no business, as Sedgemoor has just been disbanded, so it's all calming down a bit. So that's that, really. Item number 3, to record any declarations of interest. I don't think we've got any. No, super. Item number 4, minutes of the meeting held on the 16th of March 22. I'd like to approve them. I don't think anyone's come back with anything particular. Super, just sign those. Shmi, I'll borrow your pen, please. Thank you very much. Excuse me. Item number 5, matters arising. Do you think we've got anything for you? No, there isn't anything. Great, flying through. Item number 6, public participation. We don't have any public. Brilliant. Item number 7, financial matters. I think, has everything been agreed and signed and
We'll do by the end of the week.
we'll be by the end of the meeting. Emily's just going through it. Okay.
Isabel to confirm they're all good.
Great, we can come back to that. Brilliant. Item number 8, to approve the minutes of the planning committee held on 23rd March 22. Over to Sue Worrell. Thank you. Excuse me. Lovely. Item number 9, to consider funding for the Jubilee events. David.
Thank you. Well, it's a bit you and I really, isn't it? Councillor Cox did. So the planning is going full tilt. I think most things are in place now. We have the road closure from 9 in the morning until 10 in the evening, but we won't use all that time. We have the temporary event notice with the licence in place for music and the retail of alcohol, and that's from midday until 5. The event itself is being advertised as from 12 till 4. The posters at 5, and realistically that'll be it. We have various food vendors, so there is just a bit of background before we get to the money bit. So, fed by Fed and Ben, we have somebody doing picnic, sandwich, afternoon teas and sandwich boxes. And we have somebody else, somebody missing. No, we couldn't get burritos.
Some doing ice creams as well, I think.
And then there's a little bicycle selling ice creams that's very popular that gets around the place somewhere. There is the new inn. So Alex at the new inn, he's going to do a bar and a barbecue.
Okay.
And the Swan is going to do a cocktail bar.
Cool.
So that they don't clash. So the new inn will do beers and some wines, and Alex wants to do a barbecue as well. So that's great. And the Swan want to do a little pop-up cocktail bar. So DJ Ollie is doing the music. Scotty is going to do a bagpipe lead on the children's pageant parade. There's stuff going on with the kids from the school. There's going to be children doing country dancing. Pardon me if I don't know all the details going on with the school stuff, but the girls are well into coordinating that. We'll have seating for about 200, 220 people with the tables and chairs that we've managed to get together. People will be invited, they can bring their own picnics, their own drink and their own tables and chairs. So the event is limited to 499 because of the temporary event notice. So it will be ticket only, but the tickets are free. So it's just a case of getting hold of the ticket. But we will be counting people in and out, and you know, if it's obvious there's only 100 people there and people are coming in, and then we'll manage it. We'll have stewards on site. First aid is being provided by some of the girls from the school who are qualified first aiders. So that's where we are with the organisation. Costs that we're looking at, the road closure, the 10, DJ Ollie, insurance. Did you look at the insurance?
Yes, the insurance, as we previously classed as a Parish Council event, we could use the insurance to include the event.
Good.
Yeah, okay, so then that saves us a little bit of money. Sedgemoor have come with a grant now, haven't they, for £200 that we can apply for. So we should apply for that. I can help you with that, Lindsay. Or if there's any information that you need, I don't know how descriptive they'll need us to be with the event. I mean, I can write an outline description of the event. We can get that off to Sedgemoor, so they'll send us £200, hopefully. That has to be in PDQ, so I'll write that tomorrow and send it down to you.
Yeah.
And then if you can liaise with that, that'll be great. I guess you're the best person. So go to Sedgemoor, not one of us. Yeah, I guess that's the way.
I think the letter did say that come out to
Yeah, okay, so that's fine. Otherwise we don't have a massive amount of costs. When we talked about at the beginning, we talked about a £1,000 budget, but I don't think it's going to be anything like that. Particularly if the insurance, we can use Parish Council insurance.
Yeah, we're going to provide our own stewards this time as well. So previously we used an outside company for stewardship, which we don't need. We still need to bring them in before the legal closing of the road, which is a £250 cost. But we save about £300-400 by not having their stewards for the day. So.
Yeah, so we're probably looking at 250. The 10's 25 quid, so 275. DJ Ollie, there's another 150 quid.
So probably any
five maybe.
Great.
There was talk about having some singers as well, but that's still, they were being talked to.
Yeah, and there's printing as well, isn't it?
Okay.
So I think if we're happy to stick with 1,000 as a budget, but obviously they're the outlined items that we would have thought would be needed, so we should have been well under that budget. So.
Yeah, well we all agreed 1,000, didn't we? So
Yeah,
under
okay,
that.
so that's where we are with it.
Good stuff.
Yeah, there's been some good people. Dave Tucker's going to mobilise a couple of men for collecting tables and tidying up afterwards. the trailer, because we've got to bring stuff down from the school. You know, logistically, it's quite a lot to do. So yeah, there seems to be quite a...
Do you need help on the day, like for setting the tables out?
Let you know, Sue. I mean,
Okay.
there's quite a few in the little group.
I see there's something going on about Wedmore bunting.
Yeah, the bunting. We're
The
trying to
bunting.
You're trying to get some bunting?
make
make
bunting.
bunting. Yeah, so it's like
Like a bunting beetle drive.
Yeah, have you seen it?
No,
No,
It's on. It's on next door, or it's on somewhere.
Yeah.
It's been advertised about making
Yeah, and
bunting.
it was also, I think it might be, is it on the poster maybe as well? Is that where I might have seen it?
So what kind of bunting are they making? Paper or proper material?
No, I only saw that I haven't
I think
actually
it's
clicked
material.
on it.
I think it's material.
But it's like wedmorebunting.co.uk, like they've set up some sort of
I've made
website.
bunting before.
Yeah.
I think there's a poster in the gallery. Yeah, in the cottage gallery.
Oh
Because
yeah,
it's
Cottage
like-
Gallery, Jan will know. Jan
Yeah.
will know
Okay.
exactly.
Jan knows everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jan will
You're
know exactly.
And then some.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone got any questions for David's on that?
Yeah. So,
The grant from Sedgemoor, is that like £200 per parish?
yeah.
Just wondering if that
That was the way I read it. It was 200 per parish. We could probably shave off a tenner for you.
We might be able to spend, let's see
part
what we
of
can
the parish.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
split it. I don't know
Yeah,
what
split it.
they were doing anything,
Split it.
but
Yeah.
I mean, what about Theo as well? The
yeah,
3 Cs. If everybody's doing something,
then
if we
yes,
apply for it and we get it,
then we'll
Yeah.
just
then we'll just split it
out.
up.
Yeah, definitely, good
It'd
question.
be
Then.
50
Good
quid.
idea.
50 quid a group or whatever.
Yeah.
If you've
Fine.
got Theo, the 3 Cs, Blackmore and us, I mean, these aren't the biggest costs in the world, so
Okay.
if 50 quid goes,
I can maybe clarify as well, because we are a ward parish as opposed to just a
Yes.
central village, whether
Yeah.
they would be willing to grant more than the 200.
Yeah,
I mean,
that'd
I'm
be
the
great.
biggest
Good idea.
one in Sedgemoor, aren't we? Biggest parish. Maybe
Land
add a little
resource,
bit
probably.
more.
Have a try.
Yeah.
She can ask the question. Any other questions for the Davids? No? Super. Okay, thank you very much for that. Item number 10, to agree to send a letter of support for fundraising at Blackford Church. Emily.
Yeah, so sorry, David Sisson asked me about this, and then I went on holiday and I've only just even seen his email today. So basically they're applying for some funding with Viridor. In fact, Lindsay probably knows more because you've seen his more recent email, which I literally read as I left. But he basically would like us to write a letter of support for his application for funding. So he's written a suggested letter. So I'm not sure what the best way of... Do we say whether we agree to support it and then share the letter and
You
decide?
propose, we'll have a seconder and then...
Okay.
What's he got fundraising for?
They are carrying out essential repairs to the church and repainting the exterior. I think they're doing the roof, aren't they? It's quite major work that they're doing. John Beecham is helping with the designs or whatever. The roof, he's got like a roof survey that he's done. So it's just to get some funding. They've got through to the second stage, so they're being considered, but they've got 4 criteria, and one of them is they need support from the community.
Well, it's absolutely something the Parish Council does.
So, I think he's just saying, we've been refurbishing in the village for a number of years. It's used a lot at the church for the Blackford Singers, concerts, exhibitions, and Wedmore Parish Council is fully supportive and recognises the need for facilities such as the church provides to continue to be available. And just in addition to the repairs, the repainting will ensure that the appearance reflects a well cared for building and will be an asset in terms of attractiveness for visitors to the island of Wedmore.
So, proposing,
Yeah.
second that. Okay, all those in favour? Yeah. Great. Super. Item number 11, to discuss the proposed purchase of the thermal imaging camera. I do believe Andy sent something out for us all to look at.
Yeah, right.
Yes, I think we will have to defer it because he's not here. So,
And there's options, aren't there? So
Yeah.
probably
But
get-
just on that, I still think the bit that's fundamentally missing is the so what at the end of it. I think it's
Yeah.
but there's still like a package of information or pointers in a direction where we could actually say, and now you've got it, this is what you can do with it. So
Yeah.
that's-
Yeah.
like, otherwise it's a lot of money. One of those was £500 for.
I think we need something like Sunlit Solar where, you know, they will work with parishioners to get a reduced fee and they give us, you know, they do the thermal imaging and then give us, or give them
Yeah.
what they need to do to make it
Yeah.
thermal.
Looks interesting though, and I think it could be something the Parish Council have. Homeowners would be willing to rent it
Yeah.
for a day.
Absolutely.
I'd love to know where the leaks are in the home, especially with energy prices where they are.
Yeah.
I've been doing quite a bit of research on this, and you know, there's 25% of energy goes out through the roof, 35% goes out the walls, and most of the housing stock in this country is quite old and thermally very poor. And when you look at a thermal image of a house that has been insulated properly and look at its neighbour glowing bright red, and also the front door, you know, because the door hasn't been done and it's coming through. I mean, it is very outstanding. You can see exactly where you're losing your heat, and I'd be very interested to know which bits of my house were the worst and where I should target it, because you know, doing the roof is the roof insulation is probably the easiest, and I quite agree. We need a few firms that we can, you know, that we know are reputable and that people can trust. And I think there'd be a lot of business. I really do, because none of us want to be heating the air, do we? It's far too expensive now. You know, so I'll keep watching the YouTube videos.
Yeah, there's some great stuff on the energy saving trust as well, and it points you into direction. It doesn't even be firms, etc. But there's loads of.
No, I need to do more digging, but first of all I'm trying to work out exactly where the best cost savings are, and I think the roof is first and then the walls, but then you get into all sorts of intricate stuff, and you can insulate your floors as well, but oh blimey, you know, it's a lot, and we need some companies that we can trust not to, you know, do a good job at a good price.
Yeah.
So
And it isn't just us, you know, it's low income families as well. I mean, and
but there's
there's
grants and things
yeah.
coming, isn't there? There's
Yeah.
lots of government grants coming.
Yeah,
Okay.
that money that we are going to eventually get for the house at Blue Cedar,
Yeah.
that £250,000,
Yeah.
that's the money that should be spent on retrofitting our housing stock.
Yeah, well, that's
not
exactly-
private housing stock.
No.
I've got an update on that.
They're,
Yeah,
you know, affordable.
Okay, well,
Just
Well,
defer it.
defer it to the next meeting.
Could I suggest that we defer it until June, just because May is going to be so busy with
Yeah.
all the elections.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
Yeah, makes sense.
Super. Okay, item number 12, to consider recommending the Wedmore playing fields for an award. I haven't got any initials next to this.
That was sent through from Richard Young. It's apparently been going for a while. I just put it on there because I didn't know if anybody had been aware of that. That's something that we could do before or not. It's whether you want me to set more information.
An
It's
award
literally
from
just been one email.
where? From who?
From Somerset Bonders.
Okay, well,
They make an award each year, the best playing field in the
yeah, well,
country.
definitely. Sorry. How does everybody feel about that?
We have got the best playing fields in the area.
Yeah.
I just think it's a shame it's not, you know, it has had a bit of bad press in the last year, and it's not, you know, I think it should be open more, and I think maybe next year we'll be in a better position to look at maybe doing an award, because then the upstairs will be done, you know,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah, but
finished.
is this an award for facilities?
It's for the playing field. It's the playing field
So
area.
this is the playing-
You're talking about the children's play area and that sort of thing, not the pavilion.
Okay.
The children's play
It's
area?
a playing field association. So
Oh, well, we definitely need to wait till the new...
Yeah.
Definitely
So
take
it's
that.
not what, yeah, okay.
In the future, yes, I think we probably should.
That's a good
Agreed?
idea. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Item 13, to approve the annual governance statement and signed by the chairman and signed by the chairman and the clerk. Has everybody had a look at that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Signing.
Copy these other ones with Richard.
Thank you. Is that one? Cool. Item number 14, to consider funding for stewarding the road closure for the Wedmore Street Fair and Harvest Home. Got no initials here, but I'm guessing it's
They have.
Not me.
They have.
not you. I'm guessing it's not
Not
you.
me.
It was Andy Reasons. They put that through the door. There was some confusion about the initial wording, which Alistair highlighted to me because they'd requested a grant. So he made the suggestion they fill out the grant form rather than requesting funding.
Okay.
So they have submitted the grant application. Obviously, Alistair isn't here this evening.
Okay.
Um,
So that's is this under Alistair then?
No rush for it.
Road closure for the Wedmore Street Fair. So no. So let's push that on. Push that on to another meeting.
Yeah.
Leave it Alistair.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll have to pay it anyway, won't they?
Yeah. Okay.
If they're going to do it. We can
okay, let's
refer that to the next
Yeah,
one.
just move it on. Item number 15, to consider funding for Wedmore in Bloom for planting. This is something we do every year, I believe. Do we know what they're after? How much money they'd like?
£750 last year.
Okay. So they're asking for the same, are they?
That's many.
Anything.
Just give us something.
Yeah, well, I'm happy for the same, 750 last year.
Yeah, I'll propose to do the same last year.
Lovely, proposed
Absolutely.
by David Kelly, seconded by Isabel Beacon. Super, lovely. Item number 16, to consider a request of funding of new swings at the village play area. Jackie Farley, I think everyone's been sent
Yeah.
as well.
Everyone's seen it?
Yeah.
Did you get a copy of the quote as well?
Yes, thank you.
That's all the information you need. Has anyone got any questions for me?
I think it's very reasonable, the amount that he's come up with, and only £188 to actually fit everything. So I think the cost, is a very reasonable cost.
And that comes out because we now got the playing field budget, so the playground budget within the Parish Council. Is that where it's coming from then?
Well,
How does it work now?
I suppose it can do, but also the point is that there is some money that's come over the years, but the Parish Council owns all its play areas, so at some stage the Parish Council is going to have to start coughing up, because we can't keep just raising funds.
Is that money being ring-fenced, i.e. hopefully it is being ring-fenced, the money that's being moved in, it doesn't just get spent on cleaning the toilets?
There's been a slight delay in that the bank for some reason didn't close the Wedmore account.
Right.
So that form has now gone back to the bank's closed. One bit of the bank says that yes, the action's been taken, the account's been closed, and on the other bit there was a red flag saying no action to be taken, but they couldn't tell me why. So that's now gone back to the signatories for the Wedmore account to close those, but they're putting everything into the Theo account.
Right, okay.
So it's all in one place. Once it's in one place, I can then send those funds through.
Jackie, what's the total amount? Then will it be round about, just
I think it's
approximately?
about 3,500.
We had some money, Jackie, from a closed
Yeah.
national insurance,
There's-
national
yeah.
savings account, didn't we?
Yeah,
We spent some of it, and
We
there's
did
some
spend,
left, I
there's only
think.
about £200 left of that,
is
I
there?
think,
And
wasn't
then there are things coming in the future for the cross farm.
Yeah.
You know, there is some RLT2 money, which is not going to go far, because we've got all sorts of things we need to finish that off with. So as we will be we own all our play areas. I think the Parish Council in the future going on needs to
Definitely. I just want to make sure that the money that's coming from full playing.
So once that's run out, the future play areas and replacing staff, and it needs to come from the Parish Council.
And it should be on our budget. You know,
Yeah,
it should be on our new.
There is money budgeted, isn't it, for play areas, but
Yeah.
in the future I think it needs to go on.
Yeah.
Great, so that's proposed by Jackie, seconded
second that.
by David Cox. All those in favour? Great, that's lovely. Item 17, to consider the installation of a kissing gate. This is me. So, down at the Cross Farm new play area, so you go Coombe Lane and then there's a stile along the new footpath. And it's a really high stile, so short-legged people like myself find it quite hard to get over. And then I was down there meeting a play area company the other day, and I saw this lovely old chap climbing over, eventually got over and then his Labrador came through. And I had already emailed Chris East at Somerset County Council footpaths and said, have you got any free kissing gates still? Because there was a stage where he had some free kissing gates. He said, yes, where do you want it? And we need the landowner's permission. I said, well, we're not currently the landowners, but we will become the landowners. And he said, no problem, you just tell me when you want it and we'll put one in. So I just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention that as we will eventually be the landowners, is everyone happy that we put a kissing gate in there to make it a little easier? Also, there are two great big metal, I'd say like 5-bar gates, which obviously belong to the Tinknells, but it is no longer, we will be the riparian owners of that track, that footpath. So at some stage they'll have to remove those, I guess, and we will probably want to plant it up with some sort of hedging in the future, but that's something that when I'm no longer here I will suggest to someone. But great, thank you very much. I will email Chris tomorrow and tell him to pretty much get on with it. Item 18, to discuss the purchase of a new laptop and affiliated programming for the clerk. To you.
Sent some information around.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions?
No, at all. I'm quite happy to go.
It said that you were the same type of laptop that we've got. Did that?
No. I used a laptop. And I used the same information to get a comparative price for each of the.
I thought, oh my God, when we're going to give it a slightly rejigged model, then
No.
that's all that we have. I didn't think it was.
No.
I think the real positive step is putting the getting Scribe, which is the online cloud accounts package for our parish councils.
I thought that was excellent.
Great.
And actually I went on the training bits of it and webinars and everything. It isn't just the clerk. The members of the council can go on it as well.
Yeah, it's
And
the financial
so I thought that was very, very informative.
Yeah.
So everyone's seen the information that Babs has found. So Babs, are you proposing?
Yeah.
A seconder?
Second.
Jonathan, you can second. All those in favour? Excellent. Good job. Item number 19, to discuss ideas about any permanent fixtures to mark Queen's Platinum Jubilee. Permanent fixtures, yeah. So, we need a tree or bench or.
Well, I happened to
Isabel.
take some photographs. That's what's in the church at the moment.
Yes, I was talking to my husband about this.
Then I went on website and I didn't know if something modern like recycled plastic or picnic tables in all the play areas.
Nice.
Or there's even planters. Traditionally, I don't know if we could do both, because this is the once in a lifetime thing will happen. It will never happen in our lifetime again, and probably never in our children's lifetime again. So I wonder, for tradition, maybe should we speak to the church to see if we can actually plant a tree, but being a bit modern and maybe go for some, so that everybody benefits. That I don't know if everybody could benefit.
That's a bench that's in the play area at Steel, which I thought was quite nice, and it's pure metal.
Yeah.
But
It's gone black.
it's
Sorry.
no, but it'll rust. We've had this discussion
Yeah.
about the rusting, the maintenance, the wooden benches, the fact that they just recycled stuff now. I mean, it's green,
It's really
it's
nice.
using recycled
And that
material,
A 3 metre picnic table is £850,
Hang on, she's talking.
£850, and including VAT, well, we get the VAT back anyway, so it's 800 net, it's £850, and that's for a 3 metre picnic table. For the bench, it's £680, but there'll be still, they'll do, if we wanted the bench, they'll put the
That's a really
platinum
good idea.
design on it.
I think the picnic benches are
Yeah,
nice, they're much
picnic
more
bench.
relaxed.
This is more family friendly.
Yeah.
And they come with a 25-year guarantee, don't they?
Yes, yeah, they do.
So you put one, you said, in each of the,
I think it's, wouldn't it be nice to,
It
I
would
don't
be
know,
lovely, yeah.
it's probably Jackie or Polly, is there enough room to be
Well,
able to put one
yeah,
in
yes.
each of the parks?
But we'll want 4 then.
Because the one in Blackford is falling apart, and the
Then-
one in Wedmore's
the
been
The
removed.
one in Seal's.
There's 2 new ones in Wedmore,
Oh, well there.
which Alex donated.
Oh, yes, we do.
So,
We're
yeah,
going to put
But
one
it'd
in
be nice
Cross
to have a-
Farm then?
we'll definitely need
And
one
is
there.
there anything in Thale where we can put something in Thale?
Absolutely, yes. There's definitely.
So how many is
Park.
it?
4.
And do you think the 3 metre ones?
Yeah, perfect.
and in the budget for that, then we should allow for preparing ground underneath.
Yes, because they would need to be concreted in.
They'll need to be
Then
fixed in place,
fixed.
otherwise somebody's going to run off with them.
Someone else fix them.
And also, what surface are we going to have underneath them?
The one that we've put in the community orchard in Bagley, we've set into a concrete pad.
yeah.
Because it's all underneath the bench. It's not going to be a.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to be mowed on.
So
It
we're
doesn't need to
looking-
be mowed,
So,
no,
so
absolutely.
then you're looking at
Thousand.
£1,000 per unit, so a £4,000 budget.
And if we're going to get a tree and a...
No, but it's 800 quid to buy it, and then a couple of £100 to get it in and get the concrete done.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, I'm Kerry from Wedmore Harvest Home. I've been told to come to do something, so I'm here.
Okay.
Do you want me to? Is that alright? So we can wait outside. Is that okay? You sure?
You're going to do it a little damp.
I just ran up the road. Sorry.
Okay.
So do you want me to liaise with the just how much it's going to be, the company? There was only one company that had these,
Yeah.
so it was, so like I wouldn't be able to pay it myself, so I think we'd need to
What's exciting
for credit card.
Yes.
But why don't either email you or call in and see you with the details, and then we can get it ordered up and yeah.
Great.
Do we have a budget in mind?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be £4,000, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Ladies, can you stop chatting? Thank you. Sorry.
That's going to be 4,000, yeah, after the ground works. And what about, are we still going to look at doing, in tradition, a tree in the church?
I think it would be really nice to do a tree in the church because, you know, I walked past them the other day and saw the plants and thought, oh.
Yeah, and there's George the 5th or 6th, George the 6th one as well,
Yeah.
coronation as well. So there is.
Can we get a fancy plaque?
Well,
Not
you want-
necessarily
you want-
big. Do you want a big stone one? Or do you want a nice purple one?
No, I don't think a purple one in the church.
No,
I don't think that would go down very well. I think we'll stick to tradition.
yeah.
Richard wears a
He's
lot of
going
purple.
to speak to the, he's,
Don't need land.
I will. I'll speak
to
to.
Richard.
I'll speak to Richard about that.
Yeah.
Because we need to order a tree, of course, from
Order
Tree
a
Valley
tree
or whatever.
from someone, and then we'll have to get a stone done as well.
Cheddar, isn't it?
So that would be another. I don't know how much I could be, but I'll look into
They're
that.
like
You got one in the
250.
cemetery with a metal plate on
But
it.
do you want
Yes.
a stone or do you want a brass?
There is a
back?
metal plate that was for. What was that one
That's
for?
the Twidding,
Was it the twinning?
Twidding Association, down in the bottom of the cemetery.
So we set a budget.
Oh no, there's another tree that Suzanne Metter's organised for. God, what was that one? Oh, was it the royal wedding or something? And that's got a wooden plaque with a brass plate on it. But I don't know. I think Isabel's kind of right. This is a pretty big occasion. I think we need a slightly bigger fancy pants one. Okay, I'll organise it with
With the budget of
a budget of £500.
Yeah, the tree will cost you about 250, I would think.
Yeah.
What sort of tree are we going to go for? A yew tree tradition?
I think a yew tree.
Yeah, it depends on what the vicar says as well. And is there a space?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Can I borrow your pen, please, Lindsay?
Do you have to vote to approve the budgets?
Yeah.
You should.
Yeah.
I propose £4,000 to be spent on 4 picnic benches for our play areas.
And then we'll have another
I'll second
5,000.
that.
So we're looking at 4,500 in total if we're moving Crowstone.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
All those in favour? Great, good stuff. Nice, thank you, Isabel. Item 20 to decide the winner of the Henry Butt Trophy. Right, everyone's been given a voting slip apart from moi. Could you all fill it in?
Just one.
One person.
With the cost?
Yeah, and then hand it back to me and we're going to count them.
I'll take the man count them, because I'm independent.
I can't do any lobbying though.
They're all in per. There you go.
Okay.
I'll take the man count.
Well, there you are, you can keep yourself busy.
Good job.
Top. Thanks, Rod.
Not a secret.
We'll announce the winner soon. Suspense, drum roll. Thank you. Right, item 20. Hello?
Public participation?
Oh yes, going back to public participation. Kerry's here, but Kerry, why are you here?
Lynn's, did you send the form in?
It's here.
Oh,
Yes.
so funding for the harvest home for the...
Yes.
Okay.
So it's literally, I said to Lynn's, I would come tonight speaking to Tom, because Tom's obviously the chair of Harvest Home, I'm the treasurer of Harvest Home. So it's kind of, the quick thing is with that claim form that we've put in, is literally why we've asked for that money. So as you know, we've been cancelled for 2 years due to COVID. A lot of our finances comes from our ticket sales from the event and on that day. So we try and plan as much as you can. If you've seen this year, we've had to put the ticket price up to £30 from 22. In the real world, it's actually worth £45 per head. So we've had to fundraise quite a lot to try and get that money to pay for the marquee price. Between you and me has gone up £5,000 from 2 years ago. But also due to that, we've also found that with our procession, we have to close the road. With the street fair that Harvest Home has taken under their umbrella from going forward so we can keep the event going, their road closure as well, there's going to be a cost incurred from like the lamplight. That's the bit that we haven't planned in. That's where the money from you guys would come in for the road closures to make it safe and secure for those 2 events to carry on. So it's that claim is there for you to refer it, discuss it. You're completely fine. I've put the year's accounting from last year in there. You will see that that is COVID closed down, and we had the summer fair, which you probably saw last year or went to. You'll also see that some expenses that we should have had in the 2019 event has been spread out over those 2 years and will be carried over to this year. But if you have got any questions, the accountant who actually signs off all my paperwork is there on there. Her details are there as well. So if you need anything, let Lynn's know and I can come and get you all the books out. You can see it all and see where our income and our expenditure is. I'm completely happy to do that as well. So
is the ask is the £1,000 to
yeah, that's
both events?
Both events for the road closures.
Yeah,
that's basically
which
what
is
it is.
about right for what we've done for Lamplight. What
Yeah.
we're doing for the...
I think it was, I'm not sure if I don't know how much the lamplight was, but I had a ballpark of about 500, I think.
It was about 400, it's a short event though, it's only a 3-hour event, right? So.
Yeah, no, so the street fair is, I think it's 9 till 3?
Yeah, so for the Jubilee we've been quoted about 550 quid.
Yeah. So
yeah.
and then the Harvest Home is literally 9 till 12.
Yeah.
So it's just literally
it's about grand sounds about right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright?
Yeah.
So cool.
Right, lovely to see you all.
Thank you for coming.
That's all right. See you later.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Your Lynn's, your Lynn's. Thanks, Kerry.
Go on, put that one off.
That is the winner, is it? Okay, I'm very pleased to announce that the winner of the Henry Butt Trophy goes to Margaret Tilley. so I shall at some stage.
You presented the main, oh, you won't be doing it.
The next one.
The main.
The main one, so whoever is chairman will be presenting.
And it's on the hall.
Oh, yes, the annual assembly. Got out of that one. Brilliant, that's great news.
We want to revisit that.
Yes,
for
do we want
application.
to? I think we should.
Yes.
Come along from.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go back to...
It is 14.
14, thank you. To the, consider the funding for the stewarding for the road closure.
Yeah, I proposed to support the £1,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay,
Seconded.
all those in
Yeah.
favour? So David Cox and Isabel seconding. All those in favour? Great, yes.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Item number 21, issues and questions raised by councillors. Jonathan.
Nothing from me.
Nothing, Vicky?
Yes, I had a complaint from somebody who used the new playing area and their children, their grandchildren were covered from head to foot in mud.
It's not officially open.
I know. So they said they would probably, would it be an idea to actually put it closed?
I've asked Acorn, I've told Acorn that, you know,
That's
yeah, they've still got to they've got to still finish it, but they haven't. So, you know, they shouldn't have opened it, and they have, and I've had no response since then. They won't put the barriers back up, so.
There's been kids in it all week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They're
I got that.
absolutely
Well,
covered
obviously
in
not
mud.
The
finished.
gates are open, so why wouldn't they?
yeah, exactly. But I did put on Facebook because someone said, oh, Parish Council are going to get in trouble. And I said, well, they won't because we don't own it currently because I haven't signed it off yet because it's not at a state I would sign it off at. And Sedgemoor won't sign it off because it has got to be levelled and flattened. There's no
the rocks
turf on it,
removed and-
yeah. So it is woefully inadequate. The whole site is woefully inadequate currently. So yes, apologies, but it's absolutely, if they've got an issue, please take it to Valgus.
The problem is that the sign on there does say that this is a parish council playing field, and that's why I've also had a complaint about it as well.
Okay, well,
And so
Maybe we should take the sign down then.
either we need to change the sign, or we need to amend the sign, or we need to do something.
Yeah.
okay,
Back
well,
over it. Yeah.
Cover the sign.
Cover the
Yeah.
sign up.
Graffiti.
I will speak to Louis Ponestroni again.
Wedmore Banksy.
So,
We don't want to spray down.
okay,
If we word something.
Yeah.
I'll sort it.
Thank you.
Anything else, Sue? Lovely. Glenys?
No.
Who's behind Glenys? Emily?
No.
Candy? Candy, Anne? Judy? Jack?
No.
Dave? As well? No. I'm sure I had something, but I can't remember. But there we are, so we'll move that on. 22, item 22, correspondence, information only. I've had some correspondence, haven't we?
It's all been circulated.
Lovely. Item 23, committee reports, cemetery.
Yeah, it's all looking quite good at the moment. I believe the gateway area is going to be re-tarmacked.
Second week in May, I think.
Second week in May, yeah.
About 3 days.
Yeah, we're going to have a look at make sure the drain works to try to stop it flooding. It's going to be done the second week in May. I mean, there was something about, something that we thought we would do is sort of try and put some sort of wildflowers out there. I mean, I've sort of moved primroses around and got new patches of primroses growing, and I put some poppies around there, but I don't know if anyone will take it on. I won't be around to do the cemetery committee after this, but there is something on the 26th on Zoom about getting wildflowers and things like this in churchyards, isn't there? I don't know if somebody wants to sort of look at that.
Okay.
If it's going to be
in the cemetery, if you're looking
on the right hand side.
yeah, or looking up, but on the right hand side, it's going to be years before that is ever used. And we just thought that would make a perfect wildflower meadow.
Or some of it anyway.
Or
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah.
Do you think we could get some set? What is it? Or Green Wedmore stroke some set
Wildlife Trust.
Wildlife Trust, yeah, because
Okay.
they do advertise that, who is it, that opening all the wildlife gardens. I see it on Facebook, and they say, oh, another wildlife garden opened by Green Wedmore,
It'll be worth, I mean, I guess whoever's
Something
going to end up being the
whoever sort of
cemetery
takes the
committee in the
cemetery
future.
on.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
nice if in the future that gets looked at. Facilities, allotments and footpaths.
Yeah, quite a lot actually.
Wrong answer.
Right. I've completed the 3 lots of training now. What has come out of that is that we definitely need to upgrade our paperwork. We need to have a better contract, and we also need to have policies in place on our website. So that needs doing. All the allotments now let.
What one final policy?
Look at the policy team.
I
Sorry.
missed that.
Yeah, well, the policy team will love it then,
Well, we should have policies on all sorts of things, from water butts to rent increases to waiting lists, all sorts of things. We really are missing quite a lot. All the allotments are now let. We now have 1 person on the waiting list.
Excellent.
We've also got a big pile of dirt now from where they've taken the top off the path, which we will have to get shifted. So we need to get Mr. Rousel or somebody to take it away.
Is it just dirt?
Well, no, it's dirt, scalpings and bits and pieces, because it's off the middle of the road, so it's sort of assaulted. So yes, they've cleared it, and I had to find a place to put it, so we put it in front of the one allotment that was empty at the time. But now there's this huge pile of dirt, which we'll have to shift at some point, so we've got to work a way out, think about that. So I'm intending to call a meeting soon of the allotments committee. We also need to talk about doing an inspection, and one thing that did come out of this training was it's a really good idea to give people a month's notice, send out an email saying in a month's time you're going to come around and do an inspection, because it gets people to tidy it up rather than take them by surprise. So I thought that was a really good idea. So we need to have a committee meeting fairly soon and get all this sort of moving a bit. So that's the footpaths. The other thing I've been a bit concerned about is there's been lots of notices on the neighbourhood.
Next door neighbour.
Yeah, next door neighbour, about that footpath being somebody saying it's private property.
Oh, it's the one that I spoke last week.
Yeah, and I think we should look into that really.
Well, it is private property. It is a privately owned field with a footpath across it.
With a footpath across it, but surely we can do something to.
Yeah, I've already asked Chris East to wipe the sign, so he did promise that he would put the sign back up on the Popcorn Stride. So we're awaiting that. That was 3 weeks ago.
You just can't put one on the Sand Road end because there's no room for it.
Okay.
People need to, if he wants people to keep their dogs on their leads, then he needs to say that.
People need to respect.
But I think, listening to both points of view, there were people who were letting their dogs just run off and poo everywhere, and he still owns the field.
Yeah, fair enough. So I just wanted to clarify what we were thinking about that.
The sign will eventually go up. I'll chase it up. If it isn't up within the next few days, I'll chase it up with Chrissy's.
I mean, he's got it right to put a sign up saying, please keep your dog on a lead.
Yeah.
And you can fence the path off if you want to.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah, we can do that.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. Finance and general purposes. Don't miss anything. Housing. Don't miss anything. Highways, car park and brook. Alistair's not here. Planning.
4th of May is the next planning meeting.
Okay.
My last planning meeting. It's just before the day before the election.
I was going to say, yeah.
So yes, I'm taking it.
Reports from
Reports
from representatives on committee.
Yeah,
Sorry, have you finished? No.
Just to say, can you send them through to me?
Yes.
on the list of jobs to do.
Okay.
I
I've got 4 of them, but you've obviously had another 2 come through. I haven't got those yet, because I get some, because I subscribe to a lot, they send some through to me. But I haven't got those other 2. Thank you.
Thank you. Reports from representatives on committees, Isle of Wedmore News.
Yes, Lindsay, we have a meeting of the Isle of Wedmore News at 9:15 on Thursday the 5th of May, okay?
Yes.
So we'll be using this little room here. You don't have to come, but you just have to let us in.
Okay.
Right.
Would you like tea and coffee provided?
No, it starts at 9:15, and if I'm very good, we can finish it by 9:45.
To be on a mission.
Yeah.
Play areas. Well, between Jackie and I've been having quite a lot of meetings on the cross farm site with various play area specialists. So things are going to happen within our committee. I'll get back to them with some quotes that I've had. But yeah, there's some good plans there for the future. It's a big space, and it's going to be a nice area. But very much again still focusing on the teenagers.
That's quite good. It's the fenced off bit. What other bits is it just?
The rest of the mud is going to be owned by
That's amazing.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's awesome.
there's some quite interesting things afoot, but the play area committee will.
Mud mountains.
Yeah.
Wow. 2 of the mountains are going to be kept wild
Yeah, great.
and wildflowers. So the mountains nearer the footpath, so that's very much going to be wild and nice view. And then further back, where the rest of the mud is. Yes, there are plans afoot, but our play area committee will get together, and then at some stage I'll come in my capacity as a district councillor with these proposals, because that's kind of been in my manifesto all along, was to get this play area and stuff for teenage kids to do, because if they're doing it, they're not somewhere else doing other things. But yeah, this is a good space, and there's potential, and then we've got more routes for funding. So yeah, quite exciting.
Great.
Excellent.
There will be one more repair that needs doing at Blackford. One thing that was picked up on the inspection report was the slide, which they classed as an orange repair. So we need to go and do that because it's rusting down the sides. There's actually a hole where, when the kids slide down, there's actually a hole in that top ridge now, which we need replacing. So, and they're quite expensive, like £3,500. But I'll look into that.
Okay, super. Salk? Nothing. Wedmore Playing Fields Management? Nothing. Village Halls? I've got nobody from a Village Hall committee here, so representatives, so we'll move on. And the Green Group. Emily, anything?
I'm just looking for a minute. I can't see that there's anything in particular from the last meeting.
When I say something about Green, it's pretty good that Steve's been giving us, as a parish council, plenty of airtime in the various reports and stuff that we've been writing. So at the next meeting we should. I'm going to be giving him a hard time for not doing it. Right, so
Formally,
but the other thing that I've noticed that maybe you can discuss at the next meeting, it's not an urgent thing, is the Worthington Woods on the sign. I wandered across and had a look at it the other day, and it's Worthington Woods, brought to you by the Food Forest Product and Wedmore Green Group, not the Parish Council. But it's still our land, and we still pay the maintenance.
I thought the Parish Council, there was the Parish Council thing on the main thing.
Is it
I'm
just?
sure.
I agree, that's what I thought that as well.
Is
So
it?
the main side of the gate.
Oh, the gate. The one on the inside has definitely got the Parish Council
Okay.
on it. But
Yeah, it's the one on the gate, isn't it? No,
Okay.
I couldn't see it,
So it'd be quite nice.
unless I missed it.
no, okay, so there's a plaque further in on the
Okay.
site that's got the Wedmore Parish
I
Council.
mean, say it's not the biggest thing, it's just
No.
a thing for a meeting. I mean, it's.
Okay.
Right.
Right. Okay, item 24, matters to report items for the next meeting. Well, quite a few of us won't be here, but if anybody's got anything, please do get in touch with the clerk. And I'd just briefly like to say thank you to our lovely Rod for all his service. You've had to put up with a lot in the last couple of years, but you've been a very efficient, great clerk. And we're going to have little drinkies in a moment when we turn the camera off. So nobody needs to see that. And welcome, Linz, and good luck. Thank you all. It's been great working with you all.
It's been great working with you.
Thank you. Time at the end of the meeting at 25 past 8. Thank you very much.
Thank you.